to the breaking news. The jury has reached a verdict in the Michael Drejka trial. The judge is back in. Let's listen real quick.
Everything involving the trial and everything before the trial. All right, let's go ahead and bring the jurors in.
Yes, sir.
The jurors have been deliberating for about 7 hours now, I think, or at least about 7 hours.
Right after 4 o'clock. Yeah.
They ordered lunch around 9 o'clock tonight. They didn't ask a question, but they did. It sounded like asked for a little clarification.
You're the foreperson, is that correct? Okay, has the jury reached a verdict?
Okay, let's listen.
Okay, you can go ahead and give the verdict form to the bailiff. All right, we have so many bailiffs that we don't quite know who gets it. All right, and if the defense would remain standing, and if Madam Clerk would please publish our verdict.
Yes, Your Honor. State of Florida versus Michael Drejka, case number 1809851CF, as to the charge of manslaughter. We, the jury, find as follows as to the defendant in this case. The defendant is guilty of manslaughter as charged. If and only if you find the defendant guilty of manslaughter, then please further find if the state has proven this fact beyond a reasonable doubt. The defendant carried, displayed, used, threatened to use, or attempted to use a firearm during the commission of the crime. Yes. So say we all, Timothy J. Kleinman, foreperson of the jury, dated this day, August 23rd, 2019.
All right, everyone may be seated at this point. Sir, you may be seated. All right, members of the jury, at this point, Madam Clerk is going to poll the jury. That just means that she's going to ask you if this is in fact your verdict, and she's going to do it by number. So she'll make eye contact with you, or she'll point to you, and then just ask you if this is in fact your verdict.
Juror number 1, is this your verdict? Juror number 2.
So there you hear it live on Fox 13. Michael Drejka has been found guilty of voluntary manslaughter, which is now a first-degree felony for the shooting and killing of Markeis McGlockton in that Clearwater parking lot. A little bit more than a year ago, it was July of 2018, over handicap parking space. And he had argued it was a case of self-defense. They did not use the stand your ground defense. But he was claiming self-defense that he feared for his life.
And of course, that video at the convenience store was the critical piece of evidence in this case, and the one that both sides argued in their own way. But it is the video we've all seen by now, that as Markeis McGlockton comes out of the store and sees Michael Drejka arguing with his girlfriend there in the car, which is parked in a handicap parking spot, and McGlockton goes over, pushes him down, and then he fires the gun, as it would appear. At least that's what the whole thing was around, was he stepping away at the time that he fired the shot? And apparently the jury thinks yes, that he did not have to actually take Markeis McGlockton's
And it was interesting
life.
to hear from the first. We're hoping to hear from some of the jurors tonight here in a little bit. We've got 2 crews there at the scene. We got Brianna Arredondo there, and Gloria Gomez is there. So sit tight with us as we continue to get some reaction. But the big thing, as we're reading too about aggravated manslaughter in the state of Florida, that carries a mandatory minimum sentence of 9.25 years in prison. So barring his conviction at this point being overturned on an appeal, it looks like he's going to prison for at least 9 years.
Yeah. In case you missed it, absolutely nothing on his face. He basically was stoic as the verdict was read tonight, and then when he sat down, he did he mopped his face with a kerchief that he had in his hand. But now they are taking the juries and making sure everybody did. That was their verdict. So that's what they're doing right now. We haven't heard yet when sentencing will be. Usually it happens within a few days after the verdict.
And again, we're hoping to get some reaction tonight, so we ask that you stay with us here a little bit as we get some more reaction. What many people will be calling a landmark verdict here in the Tampa Bay area, as so many people watched to see how this case would unfold. So many people thought this may be a stand your ground case. In fact, Michael Drejka telling the detectives at the scene he was standing his ground, and that's why Sheriff Bob Galtieri, remember, they did not charge him at the scene because they presumed he was going to be using the stand your ground defense, meaning that if you have a fear that your life is in danger, If you have the threat on your life at that point, that you can use deadly force.
Yeah.
His attorneys decided to not go that route, still saying he was claiming self-defense, which is a little bit of a minor difference
Yeah.
there legally.
And there you saw Michael Drejka right after the verdict in court. And we're going to go to break right now and as we continue to cover this for you. So stay with us.